Welcome to the Daily Show. I'm Leslie Jones. Last time I hosted a show, I solved all of America's problems. But then y'all everything up again. Acting like you got a substitute teacher showing your ass. Well, guess what? Miss Jones is back in class, bitches. So let's get these headlines. Let's get started with something exciting. The Republican presidential primary. Yeah, can't you feel the energy? Look at those winners. But I hope you're not getting attached to them because they ain't gonna be here long.
Breaking overnight, a shocking announcement from South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. He is dropping out of the race for the Republican presidential nomination after failing to gain traction in the polls.
But as Scott himself explained, he simply did not think he had enough support from voters to keep trudging toward the nomination.
I think the voters who are the most remarkable people on the planet have been really clear that they're telling me, not now, Tim.
Not now? Not now? No, not now is what you say when a telemarketer calls you during the dinner time. This was more like, we ain't gonna ever vote for you up ass, anti-abortion, anti-gay, milk dud looking motherfucker. But what's really surprising about this is that we finally got to meet Tim Scott's mystery girlfriend. He brought her out on stage, and then a week later, he drops out. And you know she was only dating him because she thought he was going to be the president. I bet you he's now like, well, I fell short, but at least we got each other, baby. Baby? Where did you go, baby? Hopefully they haven't been dating too long because, you know, Connecticut has a 2-week return on white women. Don't take the tags off, Tim. Anyway, Tim Scott is out of the race because when it comes down to it, he just couldn't compete with Donald Trump. Which is crazy to me because Trump is the dude that is saying shit like this.
Donald Trump echoed the dangerous language of infamous fascist leaders. Trump vowed to root out the, quote, vermin within the country.
We pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, that lie and steal and cheat on elections.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is essentially confirming reports that he plans to get revenge on his critics if he wins a second term.
Yeah, it could certainly happen in reverse. They've done something that nobody thought would happen. They've done indictments in order to win an election. It could certainly happen in reverse. What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. You understand that?
Wait. Am I tripping? Did he say genie out of the box? Man, this dude can't even tell the truth about genies. The one thing we know about genies is that they come out of a lamp. If a genie comes out of a box, that's not a real genie. That's an elf that went to trade school and then took a genie class. How you gonna trust a genie in a box? If the genie can't afford a lamp, he definitely can't afford 3 wishes. He might be able to give you 1.5 wishes, but they definitely gonna be up. More importantly, this man is calling American citizens vermin when he is literally the definition of vermin. He's talking about throwing The definition. He's talking about throwing his opponents in jail when he literally should be in jail. And he is the leading candidate. Can you believe he is the leading candidate? What the America? How did y'all let this happen? Because this ain't my fault. I wasn't paying attention. The man's indicted in every state in America. I didn't know you was allowed to run for the president while you was already running from the po-po. Like, seriously, he doesn't even know that genies go into lamps. How is this happening? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Am I having a stroke? I need answers. Somebody give me a box. Okay, all right. You know what? Genie, you are the most powerful being in the universe. Please tell me what is going on.
First of all, Leslie, I gotta tell you, I'm not that powerful. I'm a genie. I'm not Oprah. All right.
Okay, whatever. Can you explain to me what the is going on with Donald Trump?
Wait, that's your wish? You are wasted on understanding Donald Trump? Aren't you single? Don't you want a man?
You said that is a better option. I don't give a about this mother. I wish for a man, Genie.
Okay. But just to be clear, I am a box genie, so I don't know exactly what type of man I'm gonna bring up here. There's a chance it could be Donald Trump.
Oh, hell no. Damn Genie. And finally, how about we hear some good news for a change? Because apparently some powerful men have been around, and now they about to find out.
A major network of high-end brothels is now busted. The Department of Justice arresting 3 people on prostitution charges for operations in the suburbs of Boston and in Eastern Virginia near Washington, D.C. One prosecutor describing it as a commercial sex ring built on secrecy and exclusivity. The wealthy clientele allegedly included doctors, lawyers, elected officials, tech company execs, plus some military officers and government contractors who have security clearances.
It's alleged that the prospective sex buyers in this scheme first had to respond to a survey and provide information online, including their driver's license photos, their employer information, credit card information, and they often paid a monthly fee to be part of this illicit club. And they also would receive a menu of different options and different women that they could purchase.
Wait a minute. What the did he just say? Did he just say menu? You mean these motherfuckers are ordering sex like they at Chili's? You know, if I order a blow for the table, would you guys like to share? I'm trying to watch my penis. It blows my mind that guys will do anything for sex. They're giving over their personal information to strangers. That is so crazy. I won't even give my real birthday to my gynecologist. As far as she knows, my pussy is only 32 years old. But men are over here like, oh, you guys do bukkake? Here's my social security number. All right, for more on this story, let's go now to the man who loves going to brothels, Michael Kosta.
Hi, Leslie, it's great to see you again.
No, it ain't.
Okay, Leslie, look, I know we have a history, but let's keep it professional.
Yeah, we gonna keep it real professional. So what you doing at a brothel, Michael? You cheating on my friend again?
Okay, you sent me here to report on the brothel, and Cheryl and I broke up a long time ago, all right? It was mutual. We were just going in different directions.
Yeah, and you went in the direction of a brothel. What kind of scumbag even goes to a place like that, Kosta?
Well, look, I'm glad you asked, because up to now it's been kept secret. But thanks to my reporting, I have an exclusive list of the names of all the men who visited this brothel. This is like a 60 Minutes level scoop.
60 minutes? I heard you couldn't even last 2 minutes. Cheryl said your sex is trash. She said y'all went on vacation and you couldn't even get it up.
Well, okay, that was my grandfather's funeral, Leslie, and I wasn't in the mood.
You weren't in the mood? You don't need to be in the mood. I had a threesome the day Regis Philbin died.
Okay.
That man was my hero, but it is exactly what he would have wanted.
Look. Let's try to focus on my exclusive story about these powerful men who may be vulnerable to blackmail.
Mm-hmm. I told Cheryl she should have been with a black male. But did she listen? I don't know what she saw in your Pillsbury Doughboy looking ass. Crying like a bitch over your grandfather's casket. I'm done with you, Michael. Wrap this shit up.
Okay, fine. We don't know the full extent of the sex ring, but what we do know is that this is the latest scandal in history's oldest profession. For The Daily Show, I'm Michael Kosta.
You think you better than Lester Holt? You're not better than Lester Holt. Because you wasn't this dignified when you broke Cheryl's window.
Okay, I broke her window because she threw me out of it.
Stop being a bitch, Kosta. It was only the second floor.
Leslie, what do you want me to do?
Get back with Cheryl. She loved you, and I love the two of you together.
Leslie, that was years ago. I'm married now. I heard Cheryl's married.
Yeah, but things ain't working out, and I heard he about to fall out of a window.
Okay, look. If that's what it takes to do my job and to put this behind us, I'll give Cheryl a call.
And cheat on your wife? You a piece of shit, Kosta. You have not changed. Once a scumbag, always a scumbag. I'm done with you. Michael Kosta, everybody.